guys, I thought I would do a little reading week in my life. I'll give you a little update on what's been going on the past 5-ish days, I think. On my last day still in school, I finished reading ACOTAR. I think I gave it like a 3.25, a generous 3.25 out of 5 stars. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It's just maybe not my taste, you know. I know that they get better as they like go on, and I believe them. That's like far down on my want to read. The next one, I finished The Poppy War. I gave like a 4.75 out of 5 or something. I loved it. It was so good. It was crazy, chaotic, and I'm excited to read the next one. It might take me a little bit to read the next one because it's a heavy book. A lot of politics and a lot of like, you know, war, as is in the title. But crazy, fun, chaotic, dark. Highly recommend. And then I recently finished Betting on You by Lynn Painter, which I liked. I think I gave it like a 4. It's definitely, some of the parts were a little cringy, a little like very young adult. They're supposed to be seniors in high school. There's a lot of whining. I didn't approve of everything that like the main girl did, Bailey, but I like Charlie. He's so sweet and I love him. Most recently finished The House in the Cerulean Sea. Five stars. This book is so good. It is whimsical and chaotic and lovely and wonderful about these magical children on this island where this one worker goes to visit them, and you get to dive into, it's just like a found family type of adorable. I love this book. Yesterday, mostly today, I'm only like a couple chapters in, but I started Study in Drowning. It's like fine so far. I wouldn't say I'm like thoroughly intrigued, but I'm gonna keep reading because I feel like I should. Effie, who is our main character, is at this architecture college and she enters this like design competition for this famous author. Yeah. That's all I got. It's a lot of like complicated names, learning this whole, I don't know if it's classified as a fantasy. I would assume, or like the magical realism or like folk something, but you gotta like learn a bunch of this like world and names for things. But it's nice because I am listening to it as well as reading it, which I did for all of the books that I mentioned because I like to listen and read. So I'm gonna keep reading this. Hopefully it amps up a little bit. Hopefully we get past the world building, but I'm excited. That's the update. Bit later now, still reading A Study in Drowning. I'm on 14, page 281. It's like, it's fine. It's kind of dragging a little bit. There's not, dare I say, there's not much plot, but like the writing is good so far, and so are like the vibes, but I'm not intrigued by like the story. But we're gonna keep reading and hopefully it gets better. I just finished A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. It was, I don't know if I have many nice things to say about it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.5 out of 5. It was fine. like, I understand what the intentions were. It was very, like, the writing style is very, like, lyrical, folk, fantasy-esque, a YA fantasy. Kind of, like, just droned on a little bit, and I was bored. The plot was slow. Like, we got through not a lot of days in the whole book. I liked Preston, the main, like, male character in the book, but Effie, insufferable for the first, like, a lot of it. Like, I understand, like, with what she's been through and everything. She was just, like, really annoying. I feel like she was supposed to be this, like, strong, independent woman, but she was just not. She, like, talked so much about how the school was really, like, misogynist. They didn't let women into the literature college that she wanted to be in. But then she also just, like, hates on somebody who's from, like, Preston, who's from, like, another place, and she hates him because, and it's ridiculous. I was not very intrigued. I, like, get that people would like it, but it's just wasn't for me. Also, some of the themes, like, I was not ready for that. Well, I didn't really know anything going in about the plot. I don't think, like, the whole fairy magic, that's kind of icky. Like, it's just not very... It's not very nice to read about, like, these 18-year-old girls. I know it's, like, different. It was different with this, like, book, but maybe that's me still not getting over not liking ACOTAR. Yeah, 2.5. It's the next day. I finished, what's that book called? A Study in Drowning last night, which I didn't rate too highly. I am ready to read another book. Right now I have, so I'm in the middle of Foundryside, which is this book. It's about a girl named Sanchia who is a thief, and she goes on this heist to steal this magical artifact or object, and it's good. Like, I'm enjoying it. I don't know, I feel like I like more character interactions and stuff, and there's like three characters in this book so far who are interacting, which is like, I don't know, I feel like it's not enough for me to really get into the plot. And I feel like that's what happened in A Study in Drowning too, where it was like 3 characters, like the whole book. I need a little bit more to get into it. I'm on chapter 13, page 182 of Foundryside. Don't know if I can read this right after finishing A Study in Drowning. So, even though I love a good heist plot, like loved Six of Crows, like that type of like heist, but even that, there's like more characters and more like character interactions. I feel like it's just lacking a little bit. But the book that I think I'm gonna read is Light from Uncommon Stars, which has a little quote from the author T.J. Klune, who wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is a good sign. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I think it's sci-fi. It was recommended to me by my friend, and they really liked it. So hopefully it's highly rated. I'll update you more as I start reading this book. So hopefully it's good. It's the next day. I did not update any like yesterday, but I'm still reading Light from Uncommon Stars. I got to page 60, chapter 7, and I really like it so far. It's a little strange and a little weird. We've gotten like 3 different character point of views. So we have Shizuka, who is a queen of hell, literally or figuratively? I guess literally. Katrina, who is a young runaway, and she plays violin. Oh, and Shizuka is like a prodigy violin teacher. And then Lon, who owns a donut shop, which is not really a donut shop. It tells you all of this on the back of the book, but I did not read the back of the book before I started the book. It says Lon is a retired starship captain, interstellar refugee, and mother of 4. And then Shizuka made a deal with the devil to escape damnation, where she's trading souls for success. Fun. Yeah, I really like it so far. I haven't gotten too far, but the chapters are short, which is very nice and refreshing. I like how many like character interactions there are. I'm really like rooting for some of these people. Like I'm rooting for Katrina like all the way. I'm excited to see how the story builds. We've gotten like an interaction between the character point of views so far, which is nice. I wasn't sure like when that was gonna happen in the book, but it happened pretty soon, which is good. I'm gonna keep reading throughout today. Maybe I'll film, maybe I won't. Who knows? But yeah, good stuff. Hi guys, so I didn't film at all like Friday or Saturday since like the last update. Right now it's Sunday, it's 4 p.m. I'm still reading Light from Uncommon Stars. I'm on chapter 26 and I really like it so far. The book is not that long, it just kind of feels long just because of how much information and like characters are packed into every single like page and point of view and everything. We've gotten like multiple points of view from like different characters with Katrina and Shizuka, and then like with Lon and her family with the donut shop. Katrina and Shizuka are like with the violin plot line, and then Lon, who is a retired starship captain at this donut shop that's not just a donut shop. And then there's some like intermixing between those point of views too, with like Lon and Shizuka and different characters like meeting and helping each other and doing stuff like that. Aside from like the original 3 point of views, we've gotten a point of view from almost everyone in like Lon's family, and a lot of like the point of views are like a paragraph, or it'll separate with like a little space in between paragraphs, so you know that it's changing point of views or it's staying the same point of view. There's a lot of characters and it's a lot to like keep track of, so I'm glad I'm like reading it and like looking at the book physically while I listen to it, because I don't think I could actually understand everything that's happening if I just listened to it. I really like it so far. It's not as like sci-fi and fantasy-esque as I thought it was gonna be. It's very much like real world with some like elements of sci-fi and fantasy. It's still good and I'm still gonna keep reading. Also, I'll insert a couple pictures from the Hozier concert because that was so fun. That was sick. That was so cool. I'm gonna keep reading. We'll see how much I read today. I have like a little over 100 pages left, I think. That's very dense, so we'll see how much I actually get through. Hi guys, it's later. It's Monday, late at night, and I'm on page 310, and it's so cute. It's so cute. First of all, the way Rika Aoki writes about just like music and everything, it's so lyrical, and I don't know how to phrase it, but it's like the writing style, it really conveys the emotions that the playing of the violin conveys, which is probably the point, which it works well. Whenever music is talked about or violins are being played in like a wonderfully perfect way, it conveys emotion and feelings and memories, and it just kind of makes you feel like you're there and you're experiencing these things and you're being affected by this violin playing. And it's such pretty writing.
especially in those like descriptive moments. We're building up character relationships and just some of the characters interacting, and like we get to see the new sides of different characters and how they react in like different situations. And the like we're at the like last conflict, the like big moment of the book is coming up right towards the end. But it's just like the little ways that the characters are interacting, and we're with Katrina on her journey of discovering to learn to love herself in a world that's so full of hate, and like coming to the terms of her being trans, but also learning to love herself. And despite all of the terrible situations that she's been through, having good interactions and like people who care about her and love her. And that's just kind of building throughout like the book. It's just so nice to see, and it's so cute, and it makes me so happy. This is a very like feel good book, like, but it's also devastating and like but wonderful. It makes you feel a lot, and some of the parts are nice, and then a lot of the parts are you're going through those journeys of dealing with the people that she runs into or anybody runs into, and it's so good. I feel like it's a predictable kind of plot. Like, well, I didn't see the one thing coming at the end, but the like trajectory of the plot is like, it makes sense, but that like it's more cozy that way. It like makes it so it's not as devastatingly terrible. But there are some parts. I'm gonna keep reading, and I have 60 pages left. Hopefully we get to see what the end is. I finished it. It was so good. It was so good. I love this book. It was so good.
Last night, I finished Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very heartwarming, heartbreaking, devastating, beautiful, sad at some points. It made you feel like a lot for the characters and made you really connect with them through how it was written. But you're exploring these different people who live in the San Gabriel Valley in California, near LA. You're just exploring their different relationships with music and identity. It's marketed as a like science fiction or fantasy book, but I would say that there's some different like fantasy elements, but then there's also like some space stuff a little bit, and then also like the idea of music and music amplifying emotions, sort of. I wouldn't say it's like fully, if you're expecting like heavy fantasy or sci-fi, that's not what you're gonna get. You're gonna get like a sprinkling here and there in like the real world, and it's not gonna seem like it's fantasy or sci-fi. It's just gonna seem normal to how the world works. I ended up giving it a like 4.25 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Like, I liked the characters and the plot. I think how it was written with the numerous perspectives changing every half page. Really, you got there were so many different characters, and that means you weren't really fully exploring every single thing about every single character because there were so many. So I think that was a little bit of a downfall, but it kind of seemed so like very slow, just because the plot was moving. Like, we went through a year in the book. But I think how it was written made it seem like so much was happening, but also not a lot was happening. It was kind of slow and dense. It's very dense. That aside, when you get into the story and you get to the characters and understanding their different perspectives and how they're changing and growing throughout the story, it is very beautiful. And I really enjoyed that part. So I did give it 4.25 out of 5. Last night, I started Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I got to page 196. I was kind of reading it throughout the whole day yesterday. I didn't vlog at all. This is a very cute story so far. We have Liz and her neighbor Wes, who live on the same street, and right now they are seniors in high school, a couple weeks before prom is about to start. or prom is about to happen. So we have the different like high school characters navigating high school and relationships, and Liz is a very like big rom-com lover. She used to watch them with her mom back when she was younger. The idea of rom-coms and having a happily ever after has really resonated with her, and it kind of sticks with her throughout time. At this point, she's never had like a real serious relationship or had her happily ever after. She's trying. Girl, is she trying? She is just as delusional as the rest of us are. It's all from her point of view, and basically she kind of makes this plot with Wes, who is the like fun, goofy next door neighbor who they like play pranks on each other and they bully each other. But Wes is just absolutely wonderful. He's so cute and adorable, and I love him so much. But Wes is just absolutely wonderful. He's so cute and adorable, and I love him so much. I think this is like a general consensus. People really like Wes from Material. And I think she kind of, right now they hate each other. Okay, as they're plotting and like scheming together, it's kind of realizing who people are when they're old, because they all knew each other. Both of them, Liz's best friend Joss, Michael, who used to live in the neighborhood, moved away and just moved back. And he was the hot one. Like, he was the one that like Liz had a crush on, like Liz was in love with ever since she was little, and like tried to like plan out their future together. Like, she is in love with this kid. He comes back to school and she kind of has to figure out, oh no, like, what should I do? Like, he's back. I think this is like we can all relate to that like little kid, like, I'm in love with you, like having a crush on someone who is cool when you're 6. It's a pretty like cute, fun plot so far. Comparing this, Lynn Painter also wrote Betting on You, which is also like young adult set in the same time. I don't know when this story is taking place, like what year, but the language used it came out in 2021. Okay, I don't know when the story takes place, and I don't know if this is just like Lynn Painter not being young when writing this. Like, she's not like a teenager still. She's like older and has gone through more life, but I feel like the language used by these like supposedly seniors in high school is just so cringy. Like, I know that's a terrible word for it, but it doesn't seem like language that they would like use. Also, there's some like random British slang thrown in. She's from Nebraska. I don't know if this is just like a Nebraska thing. Maybe. I don't live in Nebraska, so maybe this is like a Nebraska slang type of high school vernacular. That's not my favorite. And so that, along with similar to Betting on You, where I didn't really like the main girl, like Liz is not my favorite. She's kind of annoying, and that happened with Bailey in Betting on You. But I really like the guy characters. Like, the guys are so cute, and they're so fun and goofy, and they have you like kicking your feet and blushing and giggling. It's great. The main girls are just not they're not up there. I think I'll just keep reading throughout the next day or two. You will have to stay tuned for probably a next video from when I finish and rate this book. I like it so far. Just to recap what we read in this week in the life. I started off by reading A Study in Drowning. I ended up giving 2.5 or something along that lines. Was not my favorite. Did not really like the book. It's probably not gonna stick with me. It was fine. I bet a lot of people would love it. It has a lot of like folk, like fantasy aspects, magic storytelling through like fairy tales and things like that, about an architecture student who is kind of exploring this new journey in her life as she is going to this old writer's manor to like draw up the plans for the house, where she is met with another character, Preston, and they're kind of exploring the unknown secrets of this famous author that everyone liked. 2.5. And then I just finished reading Light from Uncommon Stars. Again, gave 4.25. I really enjoyed it. I think everyone should read it. Like, just the themes and the characters and the identity journey that these characters go through. I think that everybody could benefit from stepping into their perspective for a little bit. It will make you crave donuts and wish you stuck with that musical instrument that you played in 4th grade, because I know it made me do that. So, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, which I will continue reading throughout the next coming week. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are having a great reading week. Let me know what you're reading, if you're reading anything fun or cool, or if you've read any of these books. I would love to hear. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!